Hi, Paul.
From the Guam Police Department. Good morning, Sarge.
Hey, Hafidi, good morning.
You guys got a long night tonight, huh?
Yep, we sure do.
Right.
Is it a long night or long weekend? Is it just tonight or all weekend? The DWI.
We are moving into the weekend. So again, this is a night with our efforts with curbing and bringing down our fatality rates on the roadways. And one of the the three major factors in which we look into is, of course, speed, inattentive driving, and of course impaired driving. Mm-hmm. So the DWI campaign, drive sober or get pulled over. It's in conjunction with what you see in the summertime with students being home for the holiday or for the summer break, and people celebrating from Memorial Day to 4th of July, and of course moving into the summer months. So this has always been in our calendar with the Guam Police Department, and I guess the irony to the story is the opening of the bars tonight. So it's going to be interesting.
What's your message, Sarge, to people who are going to be going out? I mean, they're going to get gadai. They just haven't been able to go anywhere. People have been pent up for months. Bars are open 50% capacity. We're pretty sure we're going to see a lot of people out having a good time tonight. So what's your message to those people?
So, realistically, you said gadai, honestly, weekends are for rookies and people that haven't been out. We're anticipating things to happen, of course, when the opening of the establishment. But in all honesty and all in hindsight, it's really designating a responsible sober driver. We've seen too many fatalities. We're not talking about the arrests. We're not talking about, the conviction. We're talking about the fatalities that are happening on the roadway. And there's a reason for the campaign. There's a reason why our efforts with Highway Patrol Division, we do deem ourselves as lifesavers. It's really just curbing down the fatalities, and I attributed the three major causes of crashes that occur. It's really, and one of them is impaired driving. So whether you choose to indulge in alcoholic beverages or pack a ball and indulge in recreational cannabis, designate a responsible sober driver while out celebrating, and we can all get through this.
Are you guys going to be also monitoring whether these bars are keeping to the 50% occupancy rate?
We're gonna be working. We've been working closely. The Guam Police Department has been working closely with the Department of Public Health and Social Service with the COVID, the operations of COVID-19, with just various things that come up. As you hear it on a constant, continuous basis, it's fluid. There's a lot of things that are happening. There's a lot of changes that are going on. But the Guam Police Department has been there since day one, and this may be another task in which we may, be asked to assist, but, nonetheless, the Guam Police Department was ready to step up and move forward. So,
are you guys rusty at all, Sarge? I mean, it's been a minute since you fired up the whole DWI, because it's a lot of stuff, right? You got the lights, you got that big...
No, we've
been
doing DWI checkpoints with the Drive Sober, Get Pulled Over campaign. So it's really, this is what we've been doing prior to COVID. So it's going to be interesting tonight.
Just like we also want to get just an update. There's been a lot of crazy crime news. So what can you tell us about just round robin, Sarge?
Other than what I've reported and what you've been seeing in the magic reports, it's pretty much the basic crimes that we've been seeing. The one thing that I'm stressing is that robbery that happened last week in Georgia. We did put out a media PSA and asking for the assistance for the community, and it's just really remaining vigilant out there because of the fact that people are so tunnel vision with COVID-19. It's really there's a lot of things that are going on with our society and stuff, and crimes of opportunity do present itself, and not to become a victim, we really do still need to remain vigilant in what we do with dealing with COVID-19, and of course, vigilant with our surroundings and our protection of our well-being. So, understanding what we can do is really important as a community as a whole. Mm-hmm. But other than what you're seeing in the magic reports and what we've been reporting, it's pretty much the same drug offenders, domestic violence, and so forth. And just to update, we are still working on the death investigation.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, we're really waiting on an autopsy to be performed. So once the autopsy is performed and they move forward with the manner and the cause of death, we can actually move in the direction of where the investigation needs to go.
And this is, there was a body found, I want to say...
Was it Mong?
Yes, and
Yeah,
well,
Mong.
right
Yeah,
across my
Mong.
south. Yeah, so, you know, this was classified as our investigators. This is the death investigation. So really the thing that's going to change our investigation, our steer investigation where it needs to go is the autopsy. Once we determine the causation and the manner, that's going to, you know, again, steer our investigators in the direction of where we need to go with this case.
Preliminarily,
How long ago was that, though?
Preliminarily, is there a thought that maybe foul play was involved? Is that why?
Hard to say at this time. It really is. You know, the autopsy really it paints the picture for us. It really the autopsy is critical at this moment. So
Right, but that was over a month ago, so we haven't been able to get
earlier part of June.
Oh,
Early part of June,
Yeah, earlier part of June.
Okay.
So you know, it's really working with the you know, the CME office, and of course getting a pathologist here on island is the challenge that we're facing. You know, it's COVID and of course the quarantine and stuff. So. You know, there's going to be delays. There's going to be, you know, we're anticipating that. But once we get a pathologist out here to do the autopsy, then we can move forward with that.
I also wanted to ask about the shooting death of Juan Ogan in Manila. Is there any update on that, Sarge?
Not at this time. We are still working that. That hasn't been classified as a cold case, and we're not going to classify that as a cold case. We still have a lot of things we need to cover still with that. So I know we haven't been reporting on that, but you know, with I think that was last December when that incident happened to where we are now. Yeah. You know, we've continued to still work that case. The little information that we get from the investigators to revisiting and interviewing other people. So this case is still ongoing.
What are your thoughts on the efforts in Washington on police reform?
You know, I think Guam, and you know, from where we are, you know, there's a lot of chatter about community policing, and you know, being in the community affairs side, we've been working with community-oriented policing services for the last 4 or 5 years, and you know, Guam is really unique from where we are, and understanding, you know, again. You know, the culture that we have as Pacific Islanders, that line of respect, you know, it made it somewhat easier for us to really adapt to community policing because we really stayed focused on the centric approach of Pacific Islanders and the needs of Pacific Islanders. So it made it easier for us as a department. But, you know, the reforms in itself, that's really, we've been tracking community policing for the last 10 years.
Right.
The DOJ has been putting instructional tutorial information to agencies about how you can adapt a community-oriented policing program within your agency. So we picked up on that 5-6 years ago, and we started implementing various programs within our department. So I really feel that the Guam Police Department is ahead of the game when it comes to the community-oriented policing, and should there be a reform. And of course, we do know that President Trump had signed the executive order and really reshaping and, you know, restructuring the Guam, police agencies nationwide. So these are things in which we are you know, anticipating that may affect Guam, with of course grants, with different services that we can provide to the community, and you know, it really is a testament of what we've been doing in preparation for, not so to say preparation, but what we have been doing that really will put us in line to, I guess, be ahead of the game, so to say, or, you know, be ready to provide the service that when you look at the restructuring and everything, if they should move forward with that, we have something in play. So, you know, our various community partners that we associated with, partnering with Maniatlu and the Mechanesian Research Center for the last 4 years has paid dividends for the Guam Police Department. You know, we've actually been able to go into the Hemlani apartments in Harmon and be welcomed by the community members, by the kids, by the families. So understanding this has been always our effort,
Whoa.
It makes it easier for us should any reform come towards the Guam Police Department.
Where you at, Sarge?
Get a wave?
I'm out in a parking lot.
Oh, okay.
You waving with JI
No.
or what?
No. I'm out getting some sun. I do this on a.
I'm just messing with
Dai,
you.
Bree.
I'm just messing with you.
Dai.
Yes, I'm seeing independent any day. It's Friday. I know it's Fiesta Friday, but that's
Sarge,
independent any.
what about the stand your ground issue?
Mhm.
You guys have I don't think you have a stance on it, but you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna defer any comments
I see.
relative to the stand your ground. You know, I mean, we'll still let the legislature duke it out and understand what they need to do. So until something comes, codified in law, then I guess we can opine, further with that initiative. But,
Do you know if the police department submitted testimony though? The chief of police?
to my knowledge, no, ma'am. I don't think we've submitted any testimony relative to that.
So you guys are just like not. It's you feel it's partisan maybe, and you just want to let them hammer it out, and then you'll figure out how you deal with
that's
it.
the best approach. Yes, I think that's the best approach. And again, I'm going to defer any comments relative to that, as this is really something that the legislature is going to hash out. But yeah, that's it'll be interesting.
Can we request a comment from the chief of police on this?
I can request it.
Yeah.
If you give me
Yeah.
the questionnaires and everything, I
Right.
can ask him and every stuff. So shouldn't be a problem.
We'd love to get him to call into the show one morning. It'd be great.
Yeah.
What about?
I can
Okay.
coordinate with that.
Okay. How about the height designation? This is something that I interviewed the chief about last year,
Mm-hmm.
and now it looks like our AGs in the NMI and Guam have teamed up, and they're trying to get in with Hawaii as a high-intensity drug trafficking area, specifically because of the large presence of crystal methamphetamine, commonly known as ice, on Guam and in the Northern Marianas.
Yeah, we actually worked with the HIDA. I think there's phases in HIDA and getting as a designee or recognized as a high traffic area. So our initial phase with the HIDA was really presenting what Guam has seen in the past with crystal methamphetamine and of course for populace and everything. So we do know that a petition was submitted. Then former Chief J.I. Cruz. Unfortunately, we didn't get designee, we didn't get recognized, and we didn't get approved for that. So that wasn't that it wasn't dead in the water. The AG has continued the efforts, and of course, with all other law enforcement agencies, has stepped up in ramping up the efforts in moving with the petition. So I guess understanding as doing it as a region, with not just Guam but also the Marianas and Hawaii, we can identify as a region, like what we do with what we call our Region 9 efforts. Within law enforcement, that's pretty much the region in which they're trying to identify.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul. I know you got a busy day and you guys got a busy night. Be safe out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is a time where we do have to exercise responsibility and enforce, safety and practice. So designated responsible sober driver.
Yeah. Give my regards to the highway crew, especially Morgan.
All right.
Oh, Sarge, man, I'm sorry. I know you got to go. You had anything to say about the Hell's Angels on Guam?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to talk
yeah.
about this.
Can we talk about that next week?
Okay, we'll talk about it next week. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Good.
guys there.
Thank you, Sarge. Wash your hands.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
What? I want to know. I heard that.
I want to know too.
I heard
It
that
piques my interest.
there's law enforcement authorities that are looking at this
Mm-hmm.
group, and I even heard it from a senator. Crazy. Yeah, I heard it from a sitting senator who told me, Chris, that Hell's Angels thing, I heard that the feds were looking at these guys and they were watching it really closely.
Mhm.
I know you guys think I'm crazy.
I don't think you're crazy.
You think I'm paranoid. You think I'm creating the big Hell's Angels. Yeah, no, it's real, man. It's real. So we're going to get Sarge Tapao. If anything happens to me, guys, first people you check, Hell's Angels on Guam. Okay?
Don't check me.
Hey, it's 9:28. Again, I want to shout it out here to our friends over at Grab and Grub.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do